After a childhood in Vermont, Pastor Gary married his wife Ann on June 14, 1969. Their lives were dedicated to Christ just 6 years into their marriage. From there, God would lead them to serve in a variety of ministry roles while working bivocationally in the banking world. Pastor Gary taught while Ann led worship at Palatine Assembly of God from 1979 to 1983. During this time, they also conducted a weekly service for a group of charismatics at Living Christ Lutheran Church. After receiving his Christian workers permit in 1982, Pastor Gary and his family moved to New Jersey to serve as lead pastor at Marylton Assembly of God. While serving here, Pastor Gary received his license and was ordained in 1987. The Blanchards were called back to Illinois in 1992 to serve as lead pastor of the Assemblies of God Christian Center in St. Charles. 9 years later, in 2001, Pastor Gary accepted a position at the Illinois District Office as the director of the Leadership Training Network. 1 year later, he was appointed Assistant Superintendent and Executive Secretary Treasurer of the IDC. Pastor Gary and Ann's service to the Illinois District will always be remembered by their godly wisdom and love for the pastors and churches of Illinois.
It has been a joy to serve with you, to be together for these many decades in the Illinois District.
Thank you so much for the ministry that you have done.
Thank you for your wisdom, your knowledge, and your leadership through the years.
Our lives and the lives of countless others are better because of your investment in the kingdom of God.
Pastor Gary and Ann truly functioned as a ministry team. In particular, Ann had a tremendous impact organizing and leading 15 missions trips during their time at the district office. These trips were to countries such as El Salvador, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, and Colombia, where they assisted missionaries on the field by donating items like toys, clothes, glasses, and hygiene products. On these trips, Pastor Gary and Ann's teams showed the love of Christ by meeting physical, emotional, and spiritual needs through medical clinics, photo booths, haircuts, eye clinics, sewing classes, and so much more. One of Pastor Gary's greatest accomplishments was the establishment of the Illinois School of Ministry in 2007. The Illinois School of Ministry, or ISOM, provides affordable ministry training and helps individuals in the credentialing process get the education they need.
I so appreciate what you've been able to do with ISOM here in Illinois. We've been able to develop leaders and see people pursue and explore their call to ministry.
Over the past 19 years, the Illinois District has seen 1,669 credentials processed, 429 of these being from ISOM. 1,314 students have enrolled in ISOM classes, including 27 French students, 168 Spanish students, not to mention the most prestigious graduate of ISOM, Ann Blanchard, who completed ISOM and was ordained in 2014. Pastor Gary and Ann's service to the Illinois District was noticed by the national office, and they were assigned the task of helping train new district officers across the country.
Gary and Ann were tapped by my predecessor, Jim Bradford, as the couple to orient and train incoming new district secretaries.
You and Ann would come in. I still remember those talks you would give to the new district secretaries, and then how we'd for dinner gather with spouses, and both you and Ann would just share about the real stuff of moving from local church into district life, the way you just pastored and cared for those groups.
Going from the pastorate to the district council is a big change. It's a shock. And you go into these meetings and you're with eyes wide open and you don't know what's going on, and it's really important to have somebody who's a few years ahead of you that's able to take you and help you, and Gary Blanchard was that guy for me.
Always appreciated the ideas, the wisdom, the leadership, the input that you brought to our official settings, and was always grateful for that.
Even though Pastor Gary and Ann left local church ministry to serve at the district office, they just couldn't stay away. While continuing to serve as assistant superintendent and executive secretary, Pastor Gary and Ann have interim pastored at several churches, including Calvary Assembly in Galesburg, Southwest Community Church in Shorewood, and Radiant Church in Springfield.
Pastor Gary and Ann, thank you.
Thank you for stepping in.
You walked a broken and hurting church through a very tough time.
The time you spent rebuilding and restoring a church left for ruin will never be forgotten.
It is because you faithfully stepped in and invested your time that Radiant is here today.
You will always be family and never far from our hearts.
Pastor Gary and Ann's time at the Illinois District will leave a long-lasting impact on the kingdom. And while we will miss them, we know that their ministry to the churches and pastors of Illinois and beyond will continue for many years to come.
I don't know the half of the many, many ways and the many, many people that you have blessed over the years.
So grateful for your time and your experience and your love for us and for the Word and for Jesus, and how that is just shown throughout the world.
It has just been great to be under your leadership and on the team with you in the Illinois District. So thank you so much. We wish you the best. Be praying for you for your retirement.
And I want to pray that you and Ann enjoy this next season of your journey better than any other era.
God bless you both. We're so grateful for all that you've done and for who you are and our friendship with you.
I hope that you're blessed as much in retirement as you've been a blessing to us through the years.
We love and appreciate you so much, and we thank you. And we're looking forward to more fellowship with you in the future.
We know that someone will replace you,
but no one can take your place.
We do have a message for you from some special people, and we would like to share this with you.